should be played at high volume. This should be played at high volume. This should be played at high volume. Preferably in a residential area.
The following thoughts on Hoppe Hour do not represent Cox Media Group or its sponsoring. Anything you hear may and will be used against you. Thank you. Voted as best local podcast in Tampa Bay by the Creative Loafing. You're listening to Hoppe Hour.
What up? What's happening? This is Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, and I'm pretty pumped about this next guest. He is the one and only Tyson Monroe, a guy that I work with and someone that I would consider a friend here in Tampa Bay, and we're both from the Midwest, so this should make for radio gold. Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing, dude? You wanted to come on the show, and then the first thing you say is, hello. So what's up, dude?
Dude, I'm jacked. I'm happy to be here, man. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, dude. When I first met you, you intrigued me because I could tell you're from the Midwest because you're very laid back and humble. Not saying that Floridians aren't humble, but I could just tell immediately on my first day, this dude's from the Midwest.
Oh, yeah. You know, it shines. It shines every moment of our life.
Especially when you talk. Now, I have a very obnoxious Midwest accent. Even when I say the word accent, you can tell by the way I say my A's. But there's times when you're talking, too, that I can tell you're from the Midwest. And I'm like, yes, someone else here has their A's.
Yeah. I get it from my girlfriend all the time.
And what I love, too, is I'm beginning to realize that we have the worst accents of anything in America. We're worse than the East Coast. We might be worse than even, like, Alabama. Like, I truly believe we have the most obnoxious accents, you know?
I don't know about that, man. I honestly don't know. I think that's a controversial thing to say.
No, it can get pretty bad, especially females. If you meet a female from, like, Michigan, Minnesota, even the way I say it's obnoxious, Minnesota, or from Wisconsin, their accents are so obnoxious, especially when they laugh. It sounds like a cackling hen.
Oh, my goodness. I feel like if you lump them all together, you know, you just can't do that. That's like saying that I sound as horrible as you do. It's just not.
We do sound horrible.
I mean, you're obviously from Illinois, and I'm clearly from Wisconsin. Like, come on. Don't lump me. We can't be paired together like that.
Chicago thing they have going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a Midwestern brotherhood, but, you know, once you define yourself by a state, I can't really. Am I allowed to cuss?
You can say whatever the fuck you want. I
Okay,
try not to swear, but if you want to say fuck, go ahead.
Yeah,
fuck it.
I was going to say, you can't lump a Wisconsin boy and an Illinois boy at the end of the day. Fuck that.
How are we different? I feel like because there's more to do in Illinois and Wisconsin's more open, besides like Madison and Milwaukee, that you're more of a country boy than me.
I'm not necessarily what you would call a country boy.
What are you?
I would call myself a vagabond and a roamer and a drifter, maybe.
Why? Did you drop out of high school or something?
No. I just, you know, I was that kid in high school. I could just talk to anybody. I could just mingle with any crew.
Yeah, I feel like you weren't a part of a group. I feel like you were cool with the jocks, cool with the nerds.
Absolutely.
Cool with the emo kids.
I was the Ferris Bueller of Oconomowoc High School in
Sounds
Oconomowoc,
like
Wisconsin.
Quite a town. What was
Yeah.
there to do there besides go to like Applebee's?
Oh, my gosh. It was a Chili's. Applebee's was in Delafield next door. So don't get it twisted. But
how was the sports fan base there? Did you guys care about the Packers a lot, or was it local football?
Oh, everything, every sport, because there's nothing else to do. Everybody cares about Me, personally, I'm not much of a sports guy, but in Wisconsin, people get so passionate about it. You see people having basically 12-course meals on the grill in the parking lot.
You guys
of a
are so
sporting
obnoxious.
event.
I hate you people. You Packer fans. Ugh. Wearing your cheese heads. And
I'm being
I don't
attacked
think
right
people
now.
in Florida really get how obnoxious Packer fans can be. Oh, it is the absolute worst. It's like, shut your mouth.
They should know, because I think the number of Wisconsinites and what would you call them? Fibs, I think, is what we used to refer to them to. Your Illinois people.
Why are we fibs?
We call that a fucking Illinois bastard.
I've never heard that because it's hacky and unoriginal.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
saying, what do you call a hot girl in Green Bay? A visitor.
Oh, no. I truly did not know where you were going with that one. Curveballed me.
I have never heard fib.
Yeah.
That is so hacky and unoriginal. I'm blushing.
It's not original. It's not I can't take credit for that.
It is weird how I feel like Wisconsin and Illinois hates each other, and that's the biggest rivalry in all of the Midwest. I know Michigan and Ohio doesn't like each other, but I feel like there's pure hatred because of the Packers and Bears. I feel like it really makes things heated.
Yeah, if somebody whooped on me as much as the Packers whoop on the Bears, I wouldn't like them very much either.
Yeah, dude, it's weird how you guys had Brett Favre for 20 years and now Aaron Rodgers for about 20 years. So it's like 40 years of bad Bears football just getting crushed and our dreams just getting annihilated.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, I'm only watching football for the snacks and the drinks and the good company.
You're lame. You don't watch sports. What's your reasoning? I feel like any man that doesn't watch sports needs to explain to me why they don't.
It's not all sports. It's just certain sports. I enjoy a good UFC fight. I enjoy some classic WWE or, some throwbacks from the
I also like watching Breaking Bad because that's a sport. Nothing that is scripted is a sport. I'm sorry. Wrestling's not a sport.
That's what a lot of people...
entertainment.
But...
I just got done watching Ray Donovan last night and Sons of Anarchy last week. That's a sport, too, because there's fighting.
Would you call a gymnast an athlete?
But it's not scripted. Anything that doesn't have a plot line is a sport to me. Even competitive eating. We were talking about that to Soul Brother Kevin here in the hallways at work. I would say that the sport because you have training. People don't know how hardworking competitive eaters are. Like, they actually really train hard to look like pigs on the 4th of July.
Yeah, it's a dedicated craft.
As long as it's real and there's a chance of an underdog winning without a script, it's a sport. Wrestling's entertainment. I despise wrestling. I think it's moronic and dumb, but I can appreciate why people like it.
Well, to be honest, the reason I referenced the gymnast is, and you did consider a gymnast an athlete, a gymnast prepares their routines. A gymnast is doing acrobatics. Mm-hmm. Take a gymnast and put them in the wrestling ring and then slam them around on hard surfaces and from high ladders and off the turnbuckles. Okay. It's not natural.
Great. Cool. I'm happy that there's a lot of violence and a lot of bruises in wrestling, but it's also been predetermined by Vince McMahon and all the writers that wrestling has. That's why it's not a sport. This underdog gymnast could come in and take over the world. Nobody's coming in and taking over wrestling. It's already been determined. There's no underdog, dude. That's what I don't get is it's just trashy looking, too. Whenever I try to watch it when I'm on the treadmill at the gym and it's on like Monday, I'll watch it and I'm just like, ugh, this is so dumb.
Yeah, I'll admit, the WWE and pro wrestling is not what it once was. I don't completely stand by it, and if you ask anybody that I normally would talk wrestling to, you would know that my opinion is usually a harsh one and a very critical one like your own.
Well, I can get into wrestling like from the 80s, like the Snake, Jake the Snake, or Andre the Giant. That seemed more entertaining. But now it's just dudes that never take showers just yelling at each other on roids. It seems silly to me.
Yeah, I mean, but if you ever see, like, I don't know, for some odd reason, the first thing that comes to my mind when you're talking about these dudes not showering, they're always coming out to the ring with all their hair is wet. So how else do you think?
That grosses me out, too.
Yeah,
That's one
a
thing.
Little weird.
I'm not saying I need an athlete to be handsome because I'm not gay. I don't care about looks. But I just hate looking at these gross, sweaty men. Like, get a hold of yourself, you imbeciles.
It's to each his own. It's to each his own on an entertainment scale. Do you watch sports because you really love to watch sweaty guys run around and tackle each other on a football field? Or do you love to get behind a team and root for somebody? And have the story of the season.
You know why I watch sports?
Why?
It's because, and this might come as a shocker, people might be so surprised. I'm not coordinated. I have no skills whatsoever when it comes to athletics or walking or doing anything that involves movement of my 6'9" goofy ass frame. So I've always felt a part of myself would fit in with Derrick Rose, where I'm like, if I was coordinated and I was born with any type of skill, I could beat Derrick Rose. It's me living through these athletes, which is why I just play video games that are Madden or NBA or MLB, because I want to be them. A part of me was jealous of how they would get girls easily and how they would get a bunch of ways to go to school for free, and I went to a radio trade school for $20,000. It's just like I want to be them. Not a healthy thing to say.
I don't know. You have me at a loss of words for a moment there, just because I don't see it that way. You know, you obviously grew up idolizing people like that, and I did not. So we're just from different walks.
Were you happy in high school? Like, did you get a good amount of girls?
I don't think the amount of girls you get is what should gauge your happiness.
That was my problem. I was mad that I wouldn't get a lot of girls back in high school, and we're going to turn off Hoppe TV, and they can tune in later because I want them to listen to this. So we'll be right back via podcast in a few hours. All right. My thing was I was just so pent up on getting laid, dude, that I was always unhappy. I don't know why. I'm the same way now, dude.
I mean, if you let the you-know-what control your life. The
vagina?
Yeah, the P word or the V word.
The hot dog down the hallway when you're having sex with 45-year-olds like me?
Wow, I mean, you know, like, again, this is another topic of to each his own. You may like mustard and I may like ranch dressing.
I'm not saying I like 45-year-old women. It's just those are my matches on dating apps. It's really weird. What's really weird is I can relate pretty well with older women, but when it comes to girls my age, they think I'm weird. I don't get it.
Well, maybe you just have to embrace the weirdness, man.
But I need to find a girl that wants to be with me for me, because my ex, and now we'll get to you, my ex was with me because I was on the bone, and I've realized that later because she's friends with the girl that called Drew Garabo live wanting to have a threesome with Drew. So basically, she was in the same type of party as a person that would want to have sex with someone on the radio.
Oh,
and that's
no.
cool. I would love to have a threesome. But right now, I need to give my basics of getting into a relationship, I feel like. And your relationship intrigues me.
Hoppe's looking for love, ladies.
Kinda. I don't know. Here's the thing that intrigues me about how you met your girl on Tinder. Did you have any previous dates or any previous hookups before you met your girlfriend?
Yeah, I did.
And was there a moment when you were talking to your current girlfriend where you knew there was something more besides the previous hookups?
To put my finger on a specific moment, I don't think is possible. Because her and I, like, we kind of go back and forth and argue over, like, how long did we, like, because we didn't just meet. We didn't just, you know, some people click on that. They go back and forth for a minute and they're like, okay, let's meet up tonight. We talked for like a month. I think it was like
on the app, not via phone number.
Oh, no. I'm slick with it. I got the phone number real quick. I pulled the I don't have Wi-Fi. Can you send me your phone? You got to be quick with it, man. Come on.
I like that. You're pretty smooth, man.
You know, I would be known to be a smooth criminal if I was still a single man, but...
What was your go-to move to bring in the ladies? You have this really laid-back attitude, which I feel like just brings in the women, but how would you go about it?
I just have this weird, this overall weirdness to me and this goofiness where I'm not a manly man, I'm not a feminine man, I'm not a nerdy, you know, I don't fit in any one bubble, in any one category. Like I said before, I just kind of drift around.
You're a jack of all trades when it comes to being a human being.
I'm a Renaissance man, yeah. I could do a little soft shoe for you. I could sing you a little tune. I could, you know, read you a poem if you want.
It's weird. When you first meet someone, you feel like you can kind of pick up on the type of person they are just by talking to them. Like, people immediately think I'm weird. When I first met you, I couldn't put my finger on it, and I can't put my finger on it now. You intrigue me, dude, and that's why I talk to you in the office when you're doing work, and I'm just chilling.
Yeah, and that's all right. As obnoxious and as distracting as it could ever be, it's totally all right. No, seriously, it's okay.
See, I feel bad sometimes. That's why I kind of back off, or I'm trying to talk quietly, is I feel like I'm a nuisance to the cubicles around us. I feel like I need to realize how annoying I am.
You just have to find your inside voice, man. That's
how
all.
loud can I get?
Not loud. I just don't know. Like, is there just no gauge? Is there no...
No, I mean, are you ever annoyed? Be honest with me. We're an honest show. When I'm talking to you and I'm waiting for an event to begin and I'm like, hey, Tyson, blah, 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 blah. Are you ever like, oh, my God, shut the fuck up?
No. Okay, I'll tell you. Let's go back. Let's take it back to when you first started.
All right. Well, when I first began, that was completely different.
Yeah, I know. It's a whole nother story. But let me just walk
All right.
through my
Let's hear Tyson's timeline of our friendship.
timeline of Team Hoppy versus not Team Hoppy.
Uh-oh, go on. I want to hear this.
So when you came on board, I hardly had anything to do with you. I only heard you having a few very brief, very business-oriented conversations, with the Mike Oliveros and with probably the John Sennings of getting on gigs and just very, to the point. It was before you really started to kind of come out with your personality. So then that was when they kept putting you on the phones to call the winners. You were calling the winners down the row of desks for me.
Oh, no. I remember that because he had a talk with me. He's like, you need to be quieter. I'd be like, hey, this is Ryan from 102.5 The Bone. I just want to know if you want to come to Buffalo Wild Wings next week and you can potentially win $1 million. What's your name? And can I write you down for the event?
Yeah. I was like, get this guy off the phones. And you sounded like you had a natural built-in megaphone. Honestly. And it's, your enthusiasm, what was great, you just have to find a way to, kind of rein that in. So maybe, to bring us full circle, maybe you need to own in your desire and your want to be getting some of that good.
Well, here's what happened.
Okay.
I'm a very anxious, nervous, and hyper person, and I wasn't on my meds back then. So I felt I was inside of my skin. I know, but I'm explaining. I know.
For the new listeners, okay, for the new listeners.
Basically, I lost my meds when I was driving down here from Cleveland to Tampa Bay, and it was a mess. It took me 3 months to find a meds doctor, whatever. And I always felt like people were judging me because of the way I got fired from the show in Cleveland. I felt like I was going to get fired the next day. I had no confidence. So I was trying so hard for people to know that I'm doing work that I had to announce that I was doing the call-in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, actually, deep down, I have no idea what you mean, but I appreciate your passion.
Overcompensating, trying to fit in.
Okay. So I'll make a long story short. So I couldn't stand you when you were next to me calling winners, and I wanted nothing to do with you. Now that you're on the Bone promo crew, and I sit in my cube in the corner, and you're right next door, you don't ever really have to come over in my direction. But when you do and you talk to me, it's all good and it's all great. You've really brought it around. That's all I was gonna say. Is before I was not Team Hoppy, and now I don't
think anybody was.
I'm here in the chair, man. I'm Team Hoppy. I wanted to be here. You didn't have to beg me like some of those other fools.
What is the chance? What is the possibility? What is the potential that we could have a three-way segment, not sexual, with your girlfriend to sit in and we talk to you guys about your relationship? What's the chance of that?
Well, if you're listening, baby, I think it would be really fun. I think especially with the way everything has been lately, I think it'd be really fun and lighthearted and interesting.
What's been lately?
Everybody has their ups and downs. Gets rocky a few times.
Why, you guys having your downs?
A little bit, yeah.
I'm not going to get too personal, but what's going on?
Yeah, no, you just put the finger in the butthole. You put the finger in the butthole.
No, but I find you guys very flattering because you guys are just such a unique couple. You go to bed at 10. You snuggle and watch The Walking Dead. You have 2 adorable dogs. You got a great job. Your girlfriend's good looking. I guess you're good looking. I don't judge guys. You guys are an intriguing person of a couple.
Yeah, I'm very lucky to have a wonderful woman in my life, and what the last, I guess, week and a half has helped me realize is that when you have something, it's not just having it. It's not just having it and living it and going through the motions. It's doing what you need to do to make it as best as it can be and as good as it can be, and doing your part and being a good person and bringing your all to the table.
You know what's weird, too, about when you have a girl in your life is you have to, separate your time. When I had my long-term relationship of 7 short weeks, it was very odd. We were just different people. She would want to listen to Ariana Grande in the car. I would want to listen to Dem Franchise Boys because I'm a goober from 2005, and we could not fit in at all. The one thing she liked was listening to Howard, but there's just so much Howard you can listen to without wanting to listen to something else. And then she would want to watch Pretty Little Liars. I would want to watch Sons of Anarchy. So that relationship did not really click whatsoever, and she didn't like that. When you're on the air on 102.5 The Bone, occasionally as a little guest, that you're going to have to talk about your relationship on an FM talk channel. But what I want to ask you is, do you guys have a lot in common, or do you make it work?
We have we have the same birthday.
That's adorable.
Yeah,
that is so cute.
We're a year apart. I'm the older one, but you wouldn't be able to tell. You would think that she had a
So
year.
is she a sugar mama?
No.
I'm kidding.
We take care of each other.
I don't want her to think that I'm some shock jock trying to be edgy. That was a joke. I'm kidding.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Because you're such a baller with your necklace on right now.
This is actually, if I'm going to be real with you, this is flea market gold right here.
I like it, dude. I feel like when a guy wears a chain, he's trying to say, don't mess with me. I'm pretty cool, yo.
I'm just trying to say that there's like, a part of me used to be flashy on stage, and now there's just needs to be a little flashy part of me in my everyday life.
Were you trying to overcompensate when you were flashy?
No, not at all.
So you were just being yourself. Like, how were you flashy back in the day?
Well, I used to do like theater in high school.
I could see that.
All through high school.
I bet you pulled in so many ladies doing that. Oh, my God. Bet you were the fridge, and they were the magnets, and they just came on to you.
Yeah, I would just say it was a very illustrious career. I had a very good 4-year run.
Mm-hmm. It came and it went. No pun intended.
Yeah, it came and it came again, and it came one more time.
Now, were you a guy that would get into relationships, or was it just kind of a high school fling?
It would be, it wouldn't be the typical high school fling, because a lot of my buddies, it would be like, I've got my eyes on this girl, and I'm going to try to hit her up at this party and go as far as I can go and just walk. I would be like the romancer, where I would be like, let me get to know you a little. And looking back on it now is probably like the most dickheaded move, because it's like, let me get to know you a little bit.
I can bang you.
Let me like meet your parents. Let's get the trust. Yeah, and then. But I wouldn't say that in my mind I didn't love any of those girls.
That is a weird thing, because everybody knows I've lost my V card to women that are older than me, so I missed out on the chance of having a high school fling, because I was 295 pounds, always sweaty after gym class. There was nothing about me that was attractive. So when I hear about guys like you getting it easy back then, I go, I'm never going to have that experience. I did not fit in at all, dude.
It wasn't easy, and everybody has their own walk, and everybody has their own way through life of discovering all these things. Some people can make it work with rushing it, and some people it's just not right for them to get into it at that young of an age. Like, I don't condone, kids these days should not be doing what I was doing in high school.
Why? What was wrong with it?
It just was irresponsible.
Why? Were you not wearing condoms? What was irresponsible about it?
It's just, like I was saying, I was like I was the heartbreak
Casanova.
The heartbreak Casanova. Yeah, I would see him for like a month. Nothing was ever longer than a month. But what I was going to say is, as bad as I ever could have been, and in my defense, I'm the type of person that if I was ever going to sleep with somebody, you've got to find that one. You've got to find at least one redeeming quality that you truly love about that person, whether it's their chest or their behind or their personality.
You're such a classy dude. I would have said boobs and ass.
Yeah, well,
There's a reason why you've been getting laid for a decade, and it's been taking me the last 2 years.
Oh wow, you know what? It's been a decade, because 14 was when 14 to 24.
Would you sext a lot? Was there sext going on when we had mobile phones? Or is it more prominent with smartphones is what I mean. Like when you had a sidekick.
I would get titty pics from a girlfriend while I was sitting in Spanish class.
Via what type of phone, though?
A brick flip phone.
See, I missed out on that, man. It's awesome.
Well, I got to say, like, if you're going to get a titty pic now on an iPhone, it's probably 10 times better.
Or it's not as unique because you can get tits right away when you go to Pornhub or Xham or any of the sites. UJizz.
Just tell us all. Where else do you go? Where else do you visit? I'm writing these down for a friend.
Nah, dude, Pornhub's the best because it has the best quality, because I've been watching porn for 10 years and I know way too much.
I wouldn't know. I don't know anything about that.
Of course not. I have a Roku box. It's a media player box, and there's a special app. If you go to pornhub.com/Roku and you get the download link, you can get it on your TV.
Okay, Pornhub, pay the man. You hear him, folks. Pay the man, Pornhub. There's your plug.
What I love about pornography and sex is when I say that, I come off like this pig or this guy that's super horny or this creep, but everybody's writing down what I just said, or everybody's nodding their head and going, wow, I wouldn't mind that setup. That's what I find unique about sex and just love, is everybody tries to act like they're classy, but men are nothing more than cavemen and animals, and women are just an emotional mess that want to believe that we're not cavemen, that want to bang them when we see them. Like, there's so many girls that will go, oh, he's just talking to me because he thinks I'm cute. No, he wants to do a puzzle piece sex act. Trust me.
I just think if you feel that way about women, you're not putting yourself in the right place to meet the right women. That being said,
I'm not saying.
Wait. That being said, you always praise me and are so admired by the fact that I found, what I would consider true love on a dating app.
But the thing is,
it's a rare case. It's a rare case. That's all I'm saying.
The thing, though, I want to say is, I feel like when I talk about sex and I talk about porn on my show or whatever, it just, for some reason, always comes up. But I don't want people to think that I'm this horned up, imbecile pervert. It's just I'm being real. And I feel like sometimes I'm being way too real and it creeps people out. But if they don't want to hear the honest truth and they're going to keep lying to themselves about it, then whatever. But trust me when I say I'm not this one-night fling, bang a girl. No, but you know what I mean. I actually get pretty attached when you have a one-night fling. You go, oh, yeah, I could marry her, even though she's 45.
Oh, man. See, that is something I never really dipped. I'm trying to think, like, you saying this over and over again is now making me want to go back and try to think about how old I ever actually went. And I have a feeling it was nowhere near that.
It's fun because they know what they're doing, but then you're done and you're like, they have kids that are my age. Yeah. And it's not even like I'm seeking it out. It's just on these apps like Tinder or Clover or Bumble, I match with the older women.
Now let me ask you this rather. Mm-hmm. Are these married 45-year-old women?
No, they're always single. I always
because you got to keep it
even
classy.
If it's a swinger or an open relationship, I have unmatched because I am not trying to get my goofy, uncoordinated ass beat up. No. I always make sure they're actually divorced and probably alone. It's probably like a cobweb down there.
Yeah, who knows?
And I'm wondering why I don't get girls my age because I'm referring to vaginas as a cobweb.
Yeah, you gotta just work on your tact, man. If that's one thing I could say about you is you got little to no tact.
What do you mean by that?
Tact.
Class?
Not necessarily class because I'm not the classiest guy, but you've got to be tactful. You've got to know when to be vulgar and when to
It says here, to be sensitive in very difficult issues in relationships. So you got to be sensitive and you got to be open. And you can't be like, I want to bang her.
Yeah, you've got to not be brash. You've got to not be like a bull in a china shop with it. You've got to be like that ninja who's cartwheeling through the lasers in the room with the diamond in the case.
It's really, really weird. I don't know if it's because I take meds and I have different versions of Ryan Hoppe. There's just on-air Ryan Hoppe. There's office Ryan Hoppe. But there's becoming this version of me. Isn't it weird when you're on a date with a girl and you're in the zone that you feel pretty cool, but then the next day you can't have that same personality with someone else? You know what I mean? Like when you're in the zone and you want to talk to a girl, there is nothing preventing you.
I think you've always just got to be yourself, man.
No, I am being myself. I'm very calm and collective, which is so annoying. It's just I feel like I don't know who I am.
Oh, here we go. How about this? This is probably better advice. My advice in that case, as I'm Flo Monroe, the love doctor over here, you can't go looking for it. You can't go looking for love. You have to let love find you. Because if a woman truly picks you and wants you to become that guy, that's half the battle. And,
yeah.
And if
I think they just have to know that the radio is like a joke and it's a game. It's not for real.
Yeah, and that's a message to my girlfriend back at home. Everything you hear, maybe she's not listening. I don't know. Maybe I'll get home in time before you post this, and I'll just say, you know what, baby, just do yourself a favor. Don't listen.
And then she'll listen anyway. You should actually say, you know what you should say? Be like, it went great. We talked about Don't say sports because that'd be a lie. We talked about wrestling. We talked about life and growing up in the Midwest, and she'll be like, oh, that sounds boring. Don't be like, don't listen to it, because then she'll listen.
Yeah, you're right. I'll say, we talked about things like
what it's like to work at Cox Media Group, our favorite radio shows. Just make it seem like it's very, what would the word be, corporate, and us just talking back and forth like we're out at a beer, and she's not going to listen. But if you say, don't listen to it, please don't listen to it.
Right, you're kind of like selling yourself out in that moment.
Damn right, man. So where do you see this relationship going with your lovely girlfriend?
That's the trials and tribulation of my life right now. Well, not really. I shouldn't say that. That's a horrible way to depict it. I would say over the last few weeks, it's been the trials and tribulations of my life because, like I said, it's been a little rough patch. And when you go through those times, you really assess with yourself: is this what I want to do? Is this where I belong?
But what's been different about the past few weeks than the last month? Don't give me any information. Don't need to tell me anything. But what's the vibe been like? How has it been different?
Sometimes you lose each other. You forget what brings you together.
Is it working a lot and just not having enough time in a day?
You can only blame it on other things so long. It's 2016. All that shit is not going away.
Yeah, it's going to be there in 2032.
Absolutely. And your woman's still going to want you to pay more attention to her, to show her more love, to show her more affection, to take good care of her.
How long have you had the two adorable dogs of yours?
Oh, man. Well, I can't really answer how long we've had them. I can say how old they are. We've had them both for a good while now. We got them.
Are they getting in the way?
What's that?
Are they getting in the way?
Are they getting in the way? Wow, that's a deep that's a deep thought, man. In a way, I'm sure they are.
I'm not trying to ruin your relationship.
No.
I really hope I don't see next week on my timeline the latest thing with 102.5 The Bone, then I see something with Kevin from The Bone, and then I see Tyson Monroe is single. I really hope that's not what happens.
No, you won't see that. You won't see that.
Why? Because you would get rid of your Facebook for a while?
No, because we both want that. Sorry. Sorry. I misspoke. I tripped over my words. Neither of us want that to happen. We both want to stay together and we want to make it work. And there's only so much bullshit that both of us will put up with. And we're in that point right now where we're sorting that out. And
what do you guys do on the weekend? Do you guys have fun?
We're trying to have. That was our goal. We set goals the other day.
What do you guys do when work's done? Cook dinner and then watch The Walking Dead?
She works out. I come home, I feed the dogs and let the dogs out and go for a jog. A fucking jog. Go for a jog. I go for a jog around the block, around the neighborhood.
So you're at work from about 8 to 5. What time do you go to bed?
It depends. Anywhere from like 8 to 11.
So basically you get about 6 to 5 hours of freedom after work. So then she's working out, you're eating dinner, you're kind of getting tired around 9. Maybe you guys should have her work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You jog Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And make Tuesdays, Thursdays, and the weekends days where you just commit to yourself. And even if you get a bit of a gut from eating, and even if you gain a few pounds, you're having a relationship with her.
Together, as in together with her and
I
together.
You know what I did last week?
What'd you do?
I went to the park on the north shore of St. Petersburg. I just skipped Hoppe Hour. I'm like, the news that I'm going to talk about will be there forever. It's not breaking news. And I go, I'm going to take the night off because I've been working so hard. I'm not patting myself on the back, but I'm going, holy crap, I've been here 13 months. So I went to the park. I sat on a bench and just looked at the water and the sunset for an hour, and I drove home, and it was the happiest thing ever. You got to do that. You got to go to the beach more often. You got to go to the park more often. Do nothing. Even if it's sitting there watching Aqua Teen Hunger Force or Archer with her or whatever you guys find funny. Don't even watch a show that has a meaning to it where you have to focus. Watch nothing and just relax, meditate. I think you two should meditate. You got to do something because we're so hyper in 2016 with electronics and work going by fast and everything's going so fast. I feel like you guys are such hardworking young adults that you're ruining your youth by acting like you're 34.
So you actually meditate? Because you said that earlier, and I was wondering, like, do you really
I
legitimately...
actually do meditate. I'll play a little bit of the clip. It's where this woman named Anita Moriani, she had a near-death experience in about 2006, and she talks about it. And this is what she felt when she was seeing her life flash before her eyes. And it goes, you can close your eyes now. Here it is.
Dude, did you just become my life coach?
And unique gift that has been designed for you and only you.
It's the most relaxing thing ever. I paid $8 for it on iTunes, but trust me when I say I laid there for 30 minutes because time.
Cut the check, lady. Cut the check. Hoppy's out here giving free endorsements, people.
Dude, I get pretty anxious, man. Like, I'll go to Aldi's or I'll go shopping or I'll just go anywhere, and I get so anxious that I feel like everything goes by so fast that I just need to have everything in my apartment go dim, everything in my apartment go black, and you just relax. Like, I was going to go to the gym today around 3:25, 3:30 when I came home from the apartment, or from shopping, rather. But then I go, okay, I'd be there for an hour, and then I'd be done around 4:45, and then I'd be here at 5, and I would have no time to breathe because then we'd be doing the segment by 5:30 East Coast time. So what I'm getting at is I went, whatever, I'll take one day off of the gym because I want to have a good segment with Tyson. That's what I think you and your girl need to do, is kind of try to quit being perfect and have nights off where you just break the rules.
Oh, you know, there is plenty of that, and it is possible to lose each other through that, but I do think that's good advice. That's great advice.
What's weird is it seems like the people that don't have their life together are the ones that give good advice. Like my one friend back in high school who never got the girls at all would give all the jocks the best advice.
Yeah, so what's up with you, man? Why can't you get it together? What's your excuse?
My thing, I was thinking about it. Things are going good for me at work. I always try to be humble because radio is such a weird business where you can be fired the next day or promoted or switch to a different market. So I take each day as it is. I really do. I wake up, try to meditate, but I get anxious. I try to meditate throughout the day. But what I'm getting at is I'm really trying to work on having an outside person besides the Hoppy. Like last year, it was radio, talking loud on the phone, radio. Now it's like I'm trying to breathe and just relax. Like I'm watching more TV. Like I finally got done with Sons of Anarchy, and now I'm watching another show. I'm trying to have me time so I can be more of a human.
Yeah, I think us, when I say us, I mean, you know, you, me, everyone on this earth. As humans in 2016, there's far too many stimulants. We all have put the phone down, people, and that's like not just you people, but myself too. Like we all have that issue. We're all too plugged in. As you sit and type on a computer with headphones on in front of a microphone while I talk to you know what I mean? Like there's just not enough where people take it back to what's really nature and what living is all about.
I found this article last night. And I can't find it right now, but it basically was saying the 31 ways to know if you're addicted to your smartphone or not.
Oh, yeah.
And I looked at it. I had about 24 out of 31 of them. And
you're addicted, man.
I was like, holy crap. I'm trying to load up the article. I'll just do it later on Hoppe Hour. It was saying, do you wake up and check your phone? Yes. Do you think that it's cool when you get 100 likes on a pic? Yes. Do you wonder when that person denies your friend request what happened, or if they added you get happy? Yes. Do you often add random people online to get numbers back? Yes. Blah, blah, blah. I'm really working on trying to not look at it as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think for somebody like you, you are your own brand, you know?
Yeah.
Ryan Hoppe, that's your brand. So it's hard to tell somebody who cares that much about, you know, getting success, rather living their dream and their goals based on their good name. It's hard not to want to stand behind that and not be excited by people getting behind that.
All right, I found the list, and I'll do it tonight on Hoppe Hour too, but do you check your Facebook every few minutes to see if you got mentions or notifications?
Not every few minutes, no.
No. You think your world is over when you have no internet access.
No.
Okay, you're actually good at this. Number 3, you assume other people need to know what BRB means or CMI or LOL, and you look down on them when they don't get internet slogan.
No.
I'm weird. You have to check in at your location to let everyone know where you are, what you're doing this weekend.
No.
Wow, you're good at this.
I like to maybe share a picture after the fact.
This one, it wasn't me. It was you have to update everyone with what you're doing, like you found money or you're having a lunch, brushing your teeth. No. But this one was one that really hit me, and this was one where I was like, I think there's something wrong with me. You freak out if your pics are not able to be put on Facebook or Twitter. And there's
like
times
if you can't upload a picture?
Yeah, like when I won Best Local Podcast last year in September when I was at the Mahaffey Theater, I remember...
The Mahaffey.
Oops, what a ringing
There's
endorsement.
no R in there.
My bad. What happened was the internet wasn't working, so I wasn't appreciating the moment, and the day was like, you can put that up 10 minutes later. And I remember I felt called out, but she was saying the truth. But then there's times, too, where you want to upload something. Like when I met Joe Madden, the Cubs manager, when he came here, I was freaking out when it wouldn't go online. Like, it's weird how the internet takes over us.
It does take over, man. Pretty soon robots are going to be wiping our butts.
You really believe that?
Nah, man, I'm just fucking with you.
Do you ever want to be on air?
On air, on the radio, or like on air on a cloud?
No. Flying in a hot air balloon. Of course on the radio.
Dude, honestly, I was just talking to Buck earlier today about that. And you know Buck.
Yeah.
Buck's a good guy. Shout out to Buck. I don't know
He's
if
pretty
I don't know if
badass.
he listens to the Hoppe Hour. I don't know if you're Team Hoppe, Buck.
I think he's
get on
sort
board.
of coming around. I think he was anti-Team Hoppe like the rest of the building, but I think we're pretty cool now.
Okay, wait. So what was the question? Do I want to be on air?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily something that I've thought about with too much weight, but the more I'm around it and in instances like what you do and what the guys on the Bone do and what I see John and Dennis do with the crowded table, and my life and the people I'm surrounding myself are like kind of into it, and a lot of the people I look up to in pop culture are doing it, and it's just fascinating to me.
I think you would be really good on 97X.
97X, bro.
I think 97X.
That was a Hulk Hogan. That was a hipster Hulk Hogan or something. I don't know what that was. I don't know where that came from. Well, I did voice work for a little bit, so
I didn't know that.
yeah, there's a few. There's a commercial of me out there on like a birth control
What?
commercial or something like that,
Are you serious?
like a pregnancy awareness or something. Yeah.
I could see you being a really good co-host, like a more laid-back Galvin. Like you're very quick and you have good sarcasm. I could see you being like Galvin.
I try to just be like me.
But I'm just saying for a role of a show. Like I could see you being a JP or a Seth or a
The sidekick.
SBK.
I'd make
I
a
could
good
really see you
sidekick,
being
huh?
a good sidekick, like a good producer. Like
Sure. Yeah. I don't really know what all it entails to become a producer, but I'd like to learn more. Tell me more, Ryan
Now,
Hoppe.
I was thinking about it. I think we should do this more often and have you kind of be my co-host and not just talk about us and you. Actually have you sit in on Hoppe Hour and I talk about the news and then we go back and forth. 'Cause This was a
Wow.
lot of fun.
Wow, that is okay. Let me just step back for a moment. Wow, that is a huge
Wow,
honor.
you're sweating.
No, I'm not sweating. I'm about to blow my nose because I sneezed like 4 times. I'm actually crying a little bit because I'm so honored to be offered.
shut up.
No, I'm serious. That's very flattering coming from you because I know you're a huge radio fan.
I try.
But yeah, dude, I'll come back. Sure, I can't promise you it'll be a regular thing, but one of our
Every
other
once in a while.
one other thing that you should do in your life is make more time to do things that interest you and more things you want to do. And being here and doing this and being a part of what you're making happen on the internet and what you're doing with your movement, I think it's cool.
Why should they tune in to
man.
Magic 94.9, 107.3 The Eagle, and 105.5 The Dove?
Dude, they're just the classics.
I have a lot of fun listening to The Eagle. I'll be driving down the Howard Franklin, going like 90 at night when there's no one on the road, and they'll
That's
just
not
play.
safe. I can't condone that.
And they're playing like Living on a Prayer, and I'm just like, yeah!
You've got both hands off the wheel. Watch out, all those cats off the bridge. Those cats, they're finding cats off the bridge. That's why they're
there's
dead.
actual cats on the Howard
You
Franklin?
didn't hear that? I don't know. They thought somebody was dumping cats on the bridge. They found a bunch of dead cats out there. Dude, this is like weeks. Dude, the Kelta and Drew, these guys covered this weeks ago, man. You're not what are your sources?
I don't know, but what about the debris that's just on the road all the time? Like, you'll see it randomly, and you have to move all of a sudden, and it'll be like a tire iron. When I was driving through Ocala, and I moved from Cleveland, there was a TV probably from 1991, a little small TV, in the middle of the road. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, man, I don't know. You always wonder how that shit ends up there.
And then you have to wonder whose lame job and whose poor job has to go pick it up at 2 a.m. That must be scary.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like that bridge any time of day, to be honest.
See, I like it at night. It's fun to look at the water, but during the day, I feel very like.
Are you driving? I feel like if you're driving, you have no business looking anywhere but the road.
No, what I mean is you see it to the side of your eye. It's not like my head's 180, but I mean you see the water in front of you. You see the sunset.
Yeah, no. I know what you're saying.
I don't need you.
I don't know
to
if
be
you're
implying that
rubbernecking.
I'm an imbecile.
Oh, I have never been a passenger in your car, and from everything I hear, man, you're a horrible driver.
Who said that?
John and Mike.
I've gotten better.
Okay,
I'm really
you're working on it.
on focusing.
Well, then that one dude, did you get new tires on your car yet? Because that night that you did the banners for me, them shit's looking rough, man.
What banners for you?
The caution tape.
Oh, yeah, I got to get my car looked at, dude. I'm really glad you're judging me. Thank you.
Yo, take your car to my boy Mark at MH Auto in St. Pete.
Mm-hmm.
Look him up. He's a good dude. They do solid work. He won't do you wrong.
Jesus Christ, are you being paid to say that?
Tell
What
him
are you
I
doing?
sent you. Tell him Flo Monroe sent you.
Well, dude, keep up the good work. I promise I will come to your cubicle in a normal and timely fashion. And the loud phone calls will never bother you, so you won't have to get off Team Hoppy.
I appreciate that, man, and I really that's unfortunate that you want to end it with me giving a car garage endorsement. I don't know how I feel about that. That doesn't to the people who are just meeting me, because this is honestly my first appearance on any podcast,
You did a good job. You came off like a natural.
Thank you. I'm just being natural. I'm being myself. So, and I think
It's gotten you far.
Rather than a car endorsement, let's go off on this. Be yourself, America. Be yourself, Hoppe Hour fans. Be yourself, Ryan Hoppe, because that's the best that you can be, and that's you.
You should be a motivational speaker. This time next year, on June 30th, 2017, you will be speaking to a sold-out Emily Arena.
I can't promise you that.
Well, dude, thank you for coming on Hoppe Hour. I will have you back soon.
Thanks for having me, man. Let's do it again.
Hell yeah. This has been Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, saying peace out.
Hoppe Hour.